Okay. Okay, cool. Shall we start? I see people are
Yes,
still
sir.
joining, but let's start. Okay. So thank you. Today's topic is analytics and its impact in day-to-day life. So as we all know, analytics is quite a vast umbrella, and all or many things that fall within it. It has many impacts in our day-to-day life. For example, the amount of air that I breathe in, the number of shopping that we are doing, the binge watching, everything that has data in it, right? And wherever there is a data, we have analytics. That comes the definition of data analytics. Before we start the session, let's discuss why you guys should listen to me, and why I'm capable and why I'm talking about analytics, what holds that degree. So a brief thing about me. So my name is Naran, as it states. I'm MBA graduate in big data analytics. Yes, it's a new field that comes in, but it has a huge prospect for future. It already been in talked in market, big data analytics, and we are doing MBA PGDM graduate degree in that as well. I'm also a BTech graduate, BTech plus MBA, BTech with computer science. So that gives me a designation for having experience in computer science background as well. I've approximately 7 years of experience in analytics itself. So I have worked across a different domain. I have worked in retails, I have worked in marketing, finance, insurance sector, and HR. So different sector has its different pros and cons. Different domains has a huge umbrella where we can see, for example, for retails, we can see how the customers are coming in, how we can emphasize, how we can increase our sales. Same goes for marketing. How can we reach you guys to have a better scope to purchase the products from many organizations? Finance, yes, if you see share market falling, increasing every day and out, that's a part of analytics that we have. Analytics have a different scopes. We can predict, we can prescribe what to do, we can tell what it has been doing, data. Same goes for insurance. As you can see, insurance for a customer who is having 30 years and customers who is having 60 years. So both of them will be having a different premium amount, right? And that is something based off analytics. And whenever you go for insurance, we ask for whether you smoke or not, whether you drink or not, what kind of city that you live in. All these factors define what the premium your premium will be. Because let's say if you are smoking, your life expectancy will be comparatively less for the customers who are non-smokers, right? So your premium would be charged higher than the customers who are non-smokers. So that's a peak view of what analytics and data has to do with each other, and that's how we have this experience. We and HR. So as well, you all will be coming into organization in future, and you will be coming in, and your compensation will be discussed with HR. What HR analytics do is that we see what the niche skill that you have, right, and what is the market offering to that niche skills and number of experience. Then we also have a factors of which organizations, which institutions are you coming from, whether you are from IITs or IMs. This gives better salary to you, right? So this is how HR analytics works. And once you are inside the organization, you also see that what kind of scrolling that you are doing in your systems, what kind of data are you searching for, whether you are searching for a new job, being inside an organization or not. So all these parameters are considered, and then we predict whether the employee is going to be an organization or whether he's going to be leaving us soon. So we create a buffer, and we have a bench system in organizations where we can park employees, and we can utilize them when such employees leave our organizations. Something about sessions. Please note your questions, as Muskan has already stated. We'll discuss them at the end of the session, right? Prompt, if you feel we can quickly discuss anything related to the slides. I guess you guys can't prompt, so you can write it. Muskan can help me with that prompt, and we can discuss it right in there, right? And even if a topic is missed and you remember at the end of the session, we can obviously go back to the slide and we can discuss this further. Cool. And a request, right? To topic may be familiar to most of you, might be new to most of you, or the vice versa. But please stay with me till the end. There will be something you can take forward from this session and something to learn about, right? Now, what about the brief history of data? How did we came in? How these everyone think about that? How the data can help us? How we can emphasize it? And trust me, the source is World Economic Forum, which is a very trustable site. It has lots of data around across the world. We have many of the research during COVID and post COVID also. We are using World Economic Forum for analyzing us, for analyzing different parameters for our industries. For example, in COVID, we were trying to see how many of the customers, how many patients are there in each country. You must have came across UI where you have to just select a country, you have to click a region, and then you can go forward and see how many of beds are available in the specific region, right? For example, currently we are residing in Delhi, and with the UI which World Economic Forum created, we can select Delhi and we can go in and see what are the number of beds available in which hospitals in Delhi. So these kind of granular level data is available with World Economic Forum, and they are the one who are handling it, and we are the one who are doing the analysis post on those data, and then we are giving analysis to the world and making it a better. So let's start how this first thing came into the picture. Yeah. So story starts in 18,000 BC, right? When no one was talking about what the data is, someone thought of something and start with the tally sticks. We all must have came across the tally sticks where we put 4 horizontal sticks to count 4, and the fifth stick goes crossing all 4 of them, which is 5, and similar way we move forward. So those were the very first things how we recorded the data. So someone wants to count the number of sheep that they had in farm. Obviously, we're talking about BCE, so we are going counting sheep or goats, right? So let's say we want to count number of sheep. So what we'll do in their cave or in whatever huts they might be living by them, they can obviously just put on tally and count the number of sheep that they have, right? So that's the first calculation of the how we are collecting the data came in the tally system that we also learned today. Then once we have the tally, when we have the data, then comes the statistics, right? So in 1663 in London, John Braun carries the out first recorded experiment of statistical data analysis by recording information about mortality, right? One who's living or one who's dying of this pharmaceutical analytics. He theorized that he can design an early warning system for the bubonic plague ravaging Europe, right? So let's say at that point in time, people were dying, everyone was having a panic system of plague is ravaging across Europe. So he was the one who thought that let's predict that how many citizens are dying, how many citizens are living, how many are getting recovered from once having a plague, and based on which he predicted that how long the plague will prolong and how we can recover ourselves and which areas have a better security, a better caution about plague. So that was the first theory of the emergence of statistics. Someone thought how to utilize that data. That was the first peak view into data analytics for all of us, right? And that's in 1663, and now comes 1926, right? About approximately 300 years post, we saw early data of modern data storage. So not just that we have the data, but as the world progressed, we had a huge amount of data. And one of the visionary of our time of technology is Nikola Tesla, right? He was the one who predicted that, who said these words, right? The whole earth will be converted into a huge brain, which is in fact, it is all things being particle of a real and rhythmic whole. And the instrument through which we shall be able to do this will be amazingly simple compared to our present telephones. That was telephonic wired system back then. A man will be able to carry one of his vest pocket, right? So he was maybe talking about cell phones that we have today. It's realistic, very simple from the telephone that they had back in those days. But he was talking about basically a data storage, right? So phone that we have in our hand contains a huge amount of memory compared to what they had back then, right? So back then, you must have seen 2 MB files might be having a suitcase size, big suitcase size capacity, physical appearance. But today, 2 MB means nothing to us. We just download in a first go of any page in website. So that's how he predicted, and that's the way we are going, right? So that's 1926. We are still in. Now comes 1956, right? Business intelligence. We have the data. We have how we can improve businesses. We knew how we can improve our lives, but business are the one who are concerned. They also want to progress. They also want to reach you guys, how we can improve our business productivity. So IBM always has a one sector is IBM, obviously technology, but they also have an IBM lab within them. Number of researchers, they're also going on the new research, new upcoming technologies. So researchers in IBM said ability to apprehend the interrelationship to present the fact in such a way as to guide action toward a desired goal. So that is nothing but basically data analytics conglomerated with business, where we can use data, perform analysis on that, and use that analysis insight to enhance the business of whatever data we have. If we are in retail, if we are finance, we have subsequent amount of data and utilize it to give a better insights on the business enhancement. Okay, now the emergence of internet, 1991. We are coming to late millennium of 2000, 1991. Computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee announced the birth of what would be the internet as we know it today, right? So we are scrolling it very easier. Back then it was very tough. Computers were not that advanced that we have today, but that's the internet came in, and that's when the data exploded. We had a huge amount of data. Now, no one knew for 8 years approximately, I think, but in 1990, early idea of big data came in. Obviously, we had a data. It was in an easily storageable form. We can store it. We can have easy data centers. Data centers were not in concept back then, but yes, we can store in 2 MB, 10 MB, GBs, TVs file, right? But huge data came in when someone is running. Let's say if you are an Amazon, right? So you must be having a huge amount of data of all the people across the world. You know what are they buying, you know what are they looking into, what are they returning, what are your customer, your employees are delivering. Huge amount of data. So that is not just our data, we gave a word big data. So it's a huge amount of data, nothing else. So the concept of big data came in 1999. It first appeared in publication were published by Association for Computer Missionary, which is very reputed organization, and research paper is also well renowned across the world. So that's where the first big data term popped up. And in 2000, Web 2.0 and big data got married to each other. And when I say married, that means their entanglement gave us huge amount of data and its access and its utilization. So in 2000, when most of us might be in school or colleges, world was already talking about what we can use, what we can do on this big data, how we can utilize it, how we can leverage it to give a better enhancement to our customers, to our organizations, citizens, patients, right? Different sector of our life. So that's the whole history, how the data, statistics, big data, web, internet, how all they are interrelated to each other. We know whatever we are doing today creates our data, right? So if you search for chat GPT, let's say if you're searching for chat GPT on Google search, Google knows that you are searching for chat GPT because you have logged in via your Gmail ID to Google. So Google has tagged your name against that you search for chat GPT on such and such date. So everything that you do across internet has a data. May not be internet. If you're making a call to someone, your telecom organizations have a data that you called someone and you talk for such and such hours, right? So everything that we do in our day-to-day lives create a data, and someone like us are out there who are trying to analyze that data and see that how we can give you a better service. If it's telecom industry, and they see if you are, let's say you're connecting to your mom on who's sitting on a different state. So if they see that you're connecting to your mother on a daily basis, so they will try to provide you a better network, better connectivity to that specific area rather than being your connectivity to different states, right? So that's what we are doing. That's what we are trying to give you a better service using those data, and also to improve our lives and easy it. Now that's about the data, right? I love binge watching. So let's see how many of you guys are the same who love binge watching. So First, I'll ask you, do you know the person? I'll show a picture to you guys. And if any one of you know his name, both of the guys, but name was won't do, right? So I also want to know what their jobs are. So, for example, this guy, does anyone know his name? Please say you do. Please write up in chat. I would love to see. Come on, guys. Does anyone know this guy? He's very popular with very famous series across internet. Anyone? No worries. I guess I'm the only one who love watching series, right? So, is someone saying something? If someone knows his name?
No, sir, not name, but I think is there in Friends series.
Exactly. Yes. So his name is Chandler Den. He's a very, very famous character. His job is never revealed in the series. This series ran for 10 years. His job was never revealed, but whenever it was discussed, it was something related to statistical analysis and data reconfiguration. So, and yes, you were right. It's from Friends, which ran from 1994 to 2004. When all of us were in schools or are toddlers, he was already working in the segment that we're talking about today, right? He was already statistical analysis and data reconfiguration, and he was a part of Friends. That bit ran from 1994 to 2004. Chandler being very, very famous character. Now, second, might not be that popular, but do you know him? And if you know him, you know he's not comfortable with that question. Matthew Perry, oh, someone wrote Matthew Perry. So very good. Vabovi is the one. Yes. Do you know anyone of us know this character? So if someone is watching series Netflix these days, he's also coming in into that 90s show. But this picture is clipped from his previous series, that 70s show. Famous actor like Ashton Kutcher, Minda Kunis, I believe her name is. So those characters got launched from that series, that 70s show. His name is Red Foreman, and the job he was doing was statistical analysis. He has to study and analyze the data to enhance the sale of his organization. All right. So he was the one who was doing that statistical analysis, which in the show, and the show ran from 1990 to 1998. Can you believe this, guys? When I was not born, means I was not born, and he was already doing work in that segment, that work and similar work we I am doing today. So this is strange, but this is also very, very interesting. Means these terms has been around us for so long that we are not aware of, but we are part of it. We are some way or another, we are part of it. If he was doing statistical analysis back in 1990, so there must be a customers who were coming in and buying certain number of stuff, and he was doing performing analysis on those data, that what are you buying and how we can enhance your service, right? So that's the one terminology just coming across. Now, I'll show you a picture of your guy. Let's see if someone knows him. He is very disputed person, very renowned, and just we have short of words for this person. If anyone knows him, anyone? Does anyone know has seen a picture Snowden on Netflix? If not, I'm guessing no one is prompting. So if not, right, please watch movie Snowden, because if your guys are from sector of data analytics, you must know his name. You must know what US has been doing from early millennium, which is from 2000, right? US was doing huge amount of analysis, collecting data for its resident and from the people across world. His name is, okay, My cursor got moved. His name is Edward Snowden. His full name is Edward Joseph Snowden, right? He's an American resident, but he's also American and naturalist in Russia. So he currently lives in Russia. He was a part of NSA, which is National Security Agency of US. He was a whistleblower for some of its national security, what they were doing about the data and to citizens. So he basically talked about how the national security NSA is collecting a data from its own citizens, performing analysis, doing research on it, and keeping an eye across America. So if he was talking about America, but he also said he was keeping an eye across world. So if in back 2004 you were searching about your college project of doing your homework or something like that, in 2004 2005 those period, so if you're searching for how we can what type of pollution that human makes, like sound pollution, wind pollution, air pollution, America already knew that you are the one who are searching for it, and he is one of the person who is the reason and who also told us that America is far ahead of us. And this is the second series, The Social Dilemma. It's very popular, very controversial. It's still available on Netflix. Please watch it before Netflix takes it out. It's about how companies like Amazon, Facebook, all these organizations are using data that's been we are giving to them, we are entailing them, and they are using those data to enhance our services. But that's the mask. But they also know us better than ourselves. So if, as per the report we discussed, Facebook, Meta these days, they know more about us than we do of ourselves, right? So Facebook knows what kind of person you are, what is your categorization, what is your character, what are you thinking, and what you are going to do in future. Facebook knows, and that's on the basis of just number of likes I do on Facebook. Although we don't use Facebook these days, but we do use WhatsApp and Instagram. That's also a part of Meta, but they have a better profile on us than we know. We just think that, oh, okay, he's my friend, we just like his picture, but Facebook has calculated a lots and lots of things on based on those likes. So let's say if any of us are going to be in future going to be a board of member of Facebook, we have to make sure that what data they has on us, and they already have created a profile, and basis on that they will be making us a board of director or a different position or not. So if any of us are looking for going into any such organizations, make sure your data is also up to the mark, right? So that's what they talked about in this series. They also talked about hyper personalization. So for example, I'm taking me as an example. So they have already talking about Harsh Narayan. They already have a profile created in that. They already have what kind of likes I do. Let's say if I'm into working in an organization and I'm searching for some specific words. For example, currently I'm working in retail sector, right? So I search for how we can enhance sales, what kind of customer frequencies, how we can enhance customer frequencies, what kind of customer classification we can do. So if I'm not on Google, if I'm doing any other, if I'm on any other platform, we must have come across a small strip of advertisement that comes on that screen. On that screen or on those advertisement, you will see, or means I will see the all the prescription, all the predictive of how we can push retail sector, how we can enhance sales, because I search for that. But if let's say you search for how we can improve our daily finances, how we can improve our daily expenditure, how we can do more savings, if you search for that for similar web page, you will be having a different advertisement. You will be seeing some organizations who are pushing you to have savings account with them, some banks, something like that. Some CAs must be pushing for their organization to have your wealth management. So that's how they are using those data, and they're trying to push us into those sectors. They already created a personalization profile on me, and they are using those profilization to improve my living, to giving me a better prescription. But at the same time, they has a data on us that's pretty scary, right? So they know us much better than what we do. may not from our mother. Obviously, mother knows us better. But yes, that's scary for all of us. Now, let's talk about entanglement, right? So we have already talked about data analysis. We already talked about human life. We know we are humans. How they are entangled with each other. Okay. So data analysis already there. Cool. Human lives have a different sector. These are the things, few things, not just all. These are the few things that we do on a daily basis. We watch, we see music. We listen to our music. We see shows, movies. We also already have insurance, health insurance, healthcare sector, medical services. We always avail for. We do shopping and marketing, travel and transportation. We always travel and transport. These are sectors which is highlighted and which is day-to-day basis we use, right? And let's see how data analysis can do this. So for few use cases, for example, movies, music, show and movies. These are few pointers, right? But you can skim through these. But also let's think on ourselves that if we have a data on music shows, let's say Spotify, awesome platform for music, right? Spotify already creates a profile for all of us that what kind of music are we listening to. We already know there are different kind of genre across different music, right? So if you are into pop and you are listening back to back pop culture in your music, so they have a different profile segment for the customers who are listening to the pop music. But let's say I'm on a sad, on a different segment of a day. If I'm going to sleep and I'm on a sad for something happened in my day, I'm listening to the sad music. So they also create a profile for me who are the one who are listening for the sad songs. And the employees, they have a different profile. The employees who are listening to both of the songs, right? So this gives them a better profile for us. And in one of the reports that is on internet, not much talked about, is politicians use these data. So if let's say I'm not sure about this, but let's say if I'm a Spotify, right, and I go to any politician and says if you want to drag this segment, this district citizens to your side, and we can help you. How? We know these are the one who listens to the metallic song or pop culture. They are hip hop guys. Means they are youth. You know they are youth, right? And if they're listening metallic song, they must be having an extreme personality than the persons who are listening to the sad and the slow songs. So if they know that 90% of the customers are listening to the Metallica and 10% of the customers are listening to the sad songs, the profilation of a customer for the 90% would be having a strong vote bank for them. So they can strategize their political agenda based on those. So it helps create a profile for the division districts per person, per country, everywhere. So that's how we are giving in data every day and out to and different organizations, to different community, and they can utilize it in whatever way they want. There are litigations, there are policies where they shouldn't, but right, but that's the policy. Facebook, Amazon, everyone are dragged to their court based on these. So they are just a policy out there. I'm not scaring you guys, but that's the whole truth. So it's about music shows. Healthcare segment. Let's say I went for any, I was ill, right? I went to Vedanta. Now they have a segment on me. They have a classification that Harsh Naran in such and such date, he had such and such injury. They profiled me basis on my BP. They tested my sugar. They tested my weight, height, everything. And I went again, let's say on a 5-year gap, and I still gave all those parameters. I gave them BP, I gave them sugar level, I gave them weight, I gave them height. Now they see my projection, how my BP has increased or decreased, how my sugar levels have increased or decreased, my weight has increased or decreased. Based on those movements, they can see that if I'm going to have a BP soon, if I'm going to have a high or low BP, if my sugar levels has increased or decreased, they can predict that. They have those data, and you are taking a medical insurance. So insurance company also has similar amount of data on you, and we can use it to give you a better prescription. So we can see, you are going to have a BP, better to be cautious than to be sorry later. So take these number of pills and you will be safe. So you can also improve lives based on the data for all the customers that are across the world. Correct. Same goes for shopping and marketing. We will talk this shopping and marketing in a very details in a couple of slides later. Travel and transportation. Yes. Recently, I went abroad. We search for different platforms for flights, and we all of us know that flight charges changes if you search for multiple number of times, right? So if you search on a Paytm, the price might be, let's say, $1,000, and post some minutes, if you search again, if someone searches again, it might increase from $1,000 to 1,200 or 1,500, something like that. So all these is basis of data. How many number of customers are trying to go across those countries? So if you will see, distance between Delhi to Dubai is equal or equivalent somewhat to road travel from India to Singapore. But the charges of flight is immensely different, right? And why is that? That's because number of customers who are traveling to Dubai are much more than the customers who are traveling to Singapore. Now, not just the customers, it also tells what kind of customers are traveling, their profile. So, elite customers are traveling to Singapore, whereas I'm not saying all, but most of who are traveling to Dubai are other tourists or on some kind of work visa, who may not be, head of some organizations in Dubai, but they are in working class. They are one who are traveling to Dubai. So those flights will be offered cheaper because that they can afford, they can be in their budget, and there will be huge number of customers that can go to Dubai. Whereas for customers who are traveling to Singapore are elite, they are the one who didn't care about money, but not that much as compared to customers who are traveling to Dubai. But they also don't care about the money, but they are very easy to access. They want lounge access. They want first class ticket. So those kind of customers. So distance may be equal, but price of the flights to Singapore much higher than the flights of to Dubai. So that's the kind of analysis, that's the kind of data that comes in, and that defines the price that we offer to the flights. Four sectors, public policies, yes, similar. If you are searching for any of the segments which comes in, crime analysis, emergency response, risk assessment and mitigations, that's something which banks use very frequently these days. So if you are going to take a loan, bank has to analyze and see that how much riskier is it to offer you a loan. Your interest might be related to your CIBIL score. That's because CIBIL score declares how risk taker are you. If your CIBIL score is higher than 750, so it's very easy. They can give you a loan on a lower interest rate. Whereas if your CIBIL score falls far below or somewhere below that, your interest rate might be different than others. That's the risk analysis on your personal profile, and that's the basis of the loan offered and the interest offered to you. Correct. Predictive modeling, that's for the whole thing that we're talking about, predictive modeling. Traffic management and transportation planning. Yes. So number of travels again, right? So if number of travels are traveling most to Dubai, back to that example, those customers would be having a better policies because they came across those policies, they follow those rules. So we have to manage them more properly than the employees who are compared to the customers who are traveling to Singapore. Correct. So we have to manage 100 employees who are going to Dubai compared to 10 employees who are going to Singapore. So that's where these analysis came in. We know number of travels who are doing, and accordingly, we create policies for them. Information, yes. Next segment will be news and information. Again, you must be seeing a different kind of prompts. If you are searching for, you are very interested in, let's say, Karnataka polls, you were very interested and you search for that immensely on Google in last few days. Your new few days prompt would be from InShots, from Daily Hunt, from In Times of India, Hindustan Times, these kind of apps. They will be coming in to install their apps so that you can get a better access in your life. of all the news that come across. So that's how we data analysis is used. Recommendation, we perform recommendation based on that. Next would be education and employment. Education, we are already doing that. Employment, that how we can use that education to employ ourselves. So everything that we're talking about, we can use those data. Let's say if you keep a monitor on number of breaths that you take per day, per minute, per second, everything, maybe you can predict your life expectancy. So if you are taking a heavy breath, your life expectancy will be lower. If you are taking a slower and easy, calm breath, your life expectancy will be higher. So this is your intake, your inhale, exhale is a data point, and you can predict your life expectancy. That's a huge thing to think about, right? Artificial intelligence, that's futuristic thing and very interesting thing. We perform different kind of models. So no one is out there who is sitting on a computer daily to see how Harsh Naran is performing on certain subject. Everything has been automated. Everything is out there. Different kind of AI model are there who are automating these things. Data is just coming in. They're performing model and they are doing their analysis, and insight is already coming out. Then at the end of this pipeline, there's a human like us sitting out there who are trying to utilize those insight and manipulate that AI model to enhance the performance of that whole process. That's where the AI intelligence, NLP, natural language processing, very interesting and futuristic thing again. Chat GPT, as we talked about, you give few pointers to them, or Google, if you want to search something, you give them key points, key words, and Google will give you an output, or Chat GPT will give you an output based on those keywords. That's based off NLP. So that's interesting. Yes, so this is where I was talking about. Let's discuss how retail and marketing segment is improving. So this is one of the daily use case that we talk and how we are utilizing it. So as you can see, we give digital advertising. This is one of the segment that prompts here. So digital advertising will be giving you an advertisement of new offers that came in, right? You might have crossed that aisle. You might have not seen that advertisement, but digital advertising will make sure you don't miss that. Correct. So that's where digital advertising come in. And also you must have come across in different aisles, they are a person who are trying to sell a specific product. They are trying to push for a specific product because that's a product that comes new to the segment, customers are not aware of, but they're also trying to gather the number of sales that they have and the customers who are using them. So those products, let's say, recently I went to a different city and I see Campa Cola, which was out of the market in 90s, right? It was out of the market. Coca-Cola took over. Coca-Cola came in, it dominated the market, but Campa Cola is back in market, saying 50 years of legacy or something like that. So Campa Cola, which was out of the market, came in talking about 50-year legacy because they see customers who are out there. Those customers, I went to hill station, right? So those are the customers who can leverage a cheaper quality, cheaper price for Coca-Cola, whereas Campa Cola is not yet launched in Delhi NCR, right? Because we are the customers, we are different kind of customers. We won't be leveraging that. We are still going for Coca-Cola. We won't be taking a Campa Cola, although they are from same product from different, same organization. So that's where digital advertising, these kind of come in. Market basket analysis. So if you have studied market basket analysis on a theory, you must have known this. In different aisles, when we go for a shopping complex, we see always bread, milk, custard, curd, all these dairy products are placed together, right? All the snacks, which is cold drinks, soda, chips, kurkure, and everything, they are placed together, right? And if you're buying for a cloth, you will be seeing shirts together and then all denims together. This not just placed like that. That's the basis of analysis. So if you are going to buy a milk for your daily routine, you are biased to take, mind my words, biased. You are biased to opt for curd. May not be one day, may not be 2 day, maybe on third or fourth day. You are biased to take the curd along with you when you buy a milk. That's the basis of analysis that we do. May not be on 6th or 7th day, you also take a break if they are placed along together. And if they are not and you have to search for it, you won't be buying that. Those frequency will be lower. So that's a basis of market basket analysis. Bluetooth become beacon alerts. We always see if you are inside if you're inside a marketing complex, super complex, and you see someone is searching for something, comparing a price, they know it. They have their servers out there. They know it that you are searching for specific product online, and they're trying to compare them, and you're trying to perform the analysis, which one to buy and which one to not, which one is easier or cheaper to buy, giving the same services. So they are the one who keeping tab on that as well. Smart payment, we always do. UPI is very handy, but we also keep a tab on UPI and what kind of UPIs are you most using. That's the kind of offer we give. So if you are using PhonePe, you will be getting a retail PhonePe coupons more frequent. If you're using a Google Pay, you will be getting a retail discount coupon on Google Pay vouchers more frequent than other customers. That's the basis of smart payment. RFID for, we always see tags coming out of the shirts and tops, so that when we cross outside the store, don't give us an alarm. So that's RFID tracking for all the shirts and every clothing item that's out there. Entrance and exit data points, that what we collect the number of visitors that came in, how many of them we converted, how many of them actually bought, and how many of them left without buying anything. Service counters, number of customers what we served, number of customers who abandoned us, who didn't bought anything, customers wait time. If someone is waiting in aisle, or someone is waiting in let's say purchasing final payment counter, wait time taken to serve a customer. If someone is trying to ask for something and we are trying to serve them, so those times. Queue length is also taken into consideration. Product display was very easy, very small fonts, but these days in very huge fonts that we can't miss that. We can obviously see 79 or 89, these kind of words more easily than 82 and 72. So that's also the part of analysis. If something is ending at 9, you will be easy to buy. You will be more inclined to buy that. Also for checkouts, we see queue length, what queue length that we have, customers wait time, and time to serve those customers. So that depends, that gives profilation, how fast are we doing those transactions, so that we can serve most number of customers. These are checkout points. Now let's talk about future, how IoT, Internet of Things, is one of the things we talked about in data analytics. They help us. So in each aisle, in smart stores, we have motion sensors. In motion sensors, to detect how many customers pass through it and how many customers are still standing in front of it. Temperature sensor is very, very important. So you won't be standing for a long in front of milk curd counter, because they are placed in a freezer. Whereas you will be standing longer in, let's say, in front of Maggie, right? Because it has a cool room temperature. So that's a very important factor to see there, where the temperature is lower or higher and customers are standing there or not. So if I am having a store and I want to sell Maggie for a huge amount, I'll make sure that Maggie segment has a room temperature, so that most customers try to come to that segment and may be more biased to buy that Maggie product from us. Then smart lighting, that is also very important. When you see anything placed in the freezer, we always see the lights are on. Whereas snack sectors, always lights are on. But if you are standing in a clothing sector and if there has a belt segment, right, accessory segment, so they might not be having such a bright light in the whole segment, because belt is something which you only want and then you go for it. Whereas snacks are something you don't want, but if you pass through, you just want it somehow. That's a human nature. So that also keeps tab for it. Bluetooth, we talked about how Bluetooth is leveraging us. If you're trying to search something, we are having those data. Now, we know data has been around for so long. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone knows. There's no more a new thing these days. But what's the future of it? If we are into it, if we are trying to learn it, what is future? Where we should go from here? Everyone has already done these analysis, right? It's out there. but what we can bring in, where is the direction that we should go? That's what we are talking into this segment. Future, right? AI and ML, artificial learning and machine learning, artificial intelligence and machine learning. That's the future for sure. All these machine learning things, all the analysis that we do, those has been automated, and that's the part of ML and AI. We need not to sit on a computer on a daily basis and perform those analysis. We just need to create a model, and it will be automated. It will be doing automatic basis. Only important thing that you need to know for future to be in that segment is to know about your domains. You have to be very comfortable with your domains, so that once the data is out and insights are out, you know how to utilize them. Hyper personalization, yes, we talked about, like for example, they were having a data on me, Harsh Naran. They have created a profile that what Harsh Naran is liking and disliking, what kind of Amazon knows what kind of product is being bought from my profile, what kind of series I am watching in Amazon Prime. So they already have those data on me. So my personalization advertisement will be different from you guys. You might be seeing different advertisements. So that's hyper personalization. Edge computing. So edge computing has been around us for long. We didn't knew it by name, but now we have name for it, edge computing. So as we talked about network, right? So if you are talking to your mother on a different states very frequently, so those networks would be having an easy access to you compared to other states. That's edge computing, because what edge computing does is that it gives you better access from the network, from all the network that is available. So you are not hopping all the networks, right? All the spots on the network, you are just taking a point on a one state to different state, whereas other who is living just by side you, he is utilizing different spot on similar network to different state for talk to his colleagues. So that's where it won't be a load on a network, and everyone will be having an easy access. So that's edge computing. Augmented reality. So these days you can see, if you're trying to buy a shirt, you can automatically just put a camera in front of you and try to see how the shirt would fit you. That's augmented reality. In Google, we can see tiger walking on our floor. That's augmented reality. Behavior analytics, similar to what hyper-personalization is. Whatever my behavior is, my categorization, my classification will be done from different organizations based on the products and services that I use. So that's behavior analytics. Extended reality, that's where the metaverse comes in. Prompt for Web 3.0 we are talking about these days. So that's where extended reality is. Everything would be, you will be wearing a VR, and the whole world will be changed. That's that. Graph analytics. This is a small segment compared to others, but very important. Everyone doesn't want to see into tables, right? We have to compare. If I have to read a table with the 10 rows, it will be very hard for me compared to if we see 10 bar charts, right? So this is graph analytics. This is the future where everyone try to go for visualization, not just for data analytics. That's a half price. We have to go for complete picture. It goes for graph analytics. Blockchain technology, very important for security purposes specifically. It's a different segment to talk about altogether, but it's the future you can see out there. Internet of Things, as we saw in our retail domain, everything that is out there, IoT can make your life much easier, but also create a huge amount of data points for you. NLP, natural language processing, ChatGPT is already out there. You can see that. Google recently launched BART. We already see that. That's the future that is, and all the companies are trying to do a similar thing, or trying to improve on that. So that's where the NLP comes in. That will be all for today. If someone has any questions for me, they can obviously shoot. Muskan, over to you.
Yes, sir. So it was really a very wonderful session shared by you, and I hope our audience learned very new things and grab the knowledge that has been shared by you. I would like to thank you once again for joining us and sharing your knowledge and precious time with us. So if anyone have question can ask to sir, I'll be giving you 2 minutes. Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
Sir, as you have said that data analytics helps us in various sectors. So can you say me that how it is useful in the healthcare sector?
Yes. So, for example, let's take an example of COVID days, right? We were very concerned about number of breaths that we are taking. So we took a device and we tried to see the number of heartbeats that you have, number of breaths that you take in, and we tried to monitor that. If that goes below 90, we were very much concerned that okay, we might have COVID. We were getting isolated. But if it was not, and if you're keeping it 98, 99, we were very happy and very proud and saying, okay, we are very healthy. COVID won't touch us, right? So that's what the healthcare analysis is. You can already know about these things. You can already predict your life expectancy. You already perform your health checkups, and they keep these data points and they try to predict that which illness are going to be soon in your perspectives. So let's say you go for a doctor, you do your health checkup, regular health checkup, they give you a report, everything is normal, but they suddenly see there's a rise in your glucose level. So that's not a very alarming for new young guys, right? But that's a very concern for someone who is crossing 35 or 36. If he or she is having a huge huge increase in glucose or huge decrease in glucose level, he or she might soon have diabetes, right? So that's where the organizations or the hospitals comes in and they try to prevent that illness, instead of having you have that illness and then you come back to them and then they have a lifetime patient with them. But instead of that, we try to give you a better alert that see you are having a huge glucose level, please be concerned about it, please take care of yourself so that you are living a much healthier life than expected. You are someone going off from your track. So that's what health segment can be used, and we can obviously utilize them to make our life easy, sure, but healthier. Healthier is much important term when we talk about health for health analytics.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So now I would like everyone to open their camera for snapshot. Thank you, everyone. Again, thank you for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional question, then obviously you can contact through mail or through email. We'll be very nice to help you and support you in further in the future. So now feedback link will be shared in the chat box and you all can fill it within 6 hours from this time. Thank you so much everyone for cooperating in this webinar, and so stay connected. And I, Muskan Kumari, today's host of this webinar, is signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again.